In the previous session, we talked about the shape effects. In this session, I want to talk about text effects. We learned text effects in the effects and presets section, and we realized that we can put ready-made animations on text and make attractive text animations. In this session, you will learn text effects as well. I create a text like this. Move the text with the select tool and place it exactly in the middle of the page with the align tool. Using the center anchor point option, place the anchor point of the text exactly in the middle. In the layer section, if you open this option, there is a section called Animate on the text option. From this section, you can choose different effects and animate your text. For example, if you want the text to be displayed from the bottom of the screen, select the position option. A section called Animator is added to this section, which consists of several sections. In the position section, we must specify the initial position of our text. For example, I want the text to be at the bottom of the page. Now open the Range Selector. If I change the start and end values, you can see the type of animation. With the start option, the letters move from the first to the last. But with the end, the letters are animated from the last to the first. You can animate both the start and end values at the same time. With the offset option, you can create animations combining start and end. The type of the animation depends on your creativity. Set all these options to 0 and keyframe the start option. I put it on 100. I set CTI to second 1 and I make it 0. In this way, the texts are animated from the end to the beginning. You can even move the keyframes. Now the type of animation has changed. The letters are removed from the stage in order. We can also keyframe for the end. First, I delete the start keyframe. Click on End Stopwatch. Set the start number to 0. Move the CTI and set the end number to 100. Like this. You can animate it in the opposite way. That is, set the first frame to 100 and set the second keyframe to 0. In this way, it is animated from end to first. You can use two effects at the same time to animate text. For example, I want to add the scale effect to this text. I choose it from this part. You can reduce the size of the text in the scale section. And you can animate it in the Range Selector section. Create the keyframe in the Start section. Move CTI and set the number to 100. You can see that we created such an animation. There were ready-made animations like this in the Effects and Presets section, but we could create this animation manually like this. You can add other effects to this text and create attractive animations. For example, I add rotation. Change the settings and play the animation. You can even add opacity. For example, in the beginning, the transparency is 0 and gradually the transparency increases. In the fill color section, you can change the primary color and secondary color. Choose fill hue, for example. Change the color with this part. I want the color to be different in the first frame and yellow in the next frame. Of course, we cannot see the color changes due to opacity. I increase the opacity. Now, as you can see, the initial color is blue, and when it comes to the top, it turns yellow. By changing this number, the color will also change, and you can choose any color you like. The rest of the effects are the same. We must first make its settings in this section, and then animate it using the Range Selector option. Try the rest of the effects yourself and animate them by changing these options and using the Range Selector. Don't be afraid to change the options. If you made a mistake, you can delete the effects and animate it again. I want to explain another feature of the text. Open the character panel. Use this arrow to change the stroke and fill color. I also increase the stroke size a little like this. Now suppose I want to animate the letters of this text individually. In the default mode, it is not possible to do this. And by selecting any of these effects, the effect is applied to the entire text. But what should I do if I want to apply the effect on one letter of the text? For this, we need to convert the text into a shape. Right-click on the text or text layer and select Create Shapes from Text from the Create section. This will create a new layer. The bottom layer, which is the text layer, is hidden, and the top layer appears as a shape. If I open the Content section, you can see that all the letters appear individually, and each one can be animated independently. Each of these letters has been converted into a shape, and we can apply all the shape effects that we learned in the previous sessions. For example, I choose the Trim Path effect. The Trim Path effect is one of the most used effects in motion graphics. Set the start to 100. And I click the stopwatch and make a keyframe. Move the CTI and set it to 0. Now the effect is displayed from right to left. By selecting this option, you can reverse the effect. From left to right. You can apply the rest of the effects to the text as you wish. Trim Path is one of these effects. You can even copy the animations and paste them in other letters. For example, I copy this effect with Ctrl C and select the letter O and paste it with Ctrl V. You can paste keyframes after each other. When one letter appears, another letter appears. You don't need to animate each letter separately. You can animate one letter and copy and paste for the rest. I will delete this layer and unhide this layer. In the same way, you can try the rest of the text effects and see the result.